Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And all of you that are new, welcome. Manchin's energy permitting proposal stripped from funding bill after GOP progressive opposition. Yeah. Poor Joe. Joe, you got screwed. You got screwed by your own people. You didn't even get dinner, maybe a movie, not even flowers. You simply got screwed. When are you going to learn? When are you going to learn? Joe, you made this deal to allow all those billions of dollars in supposedly Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, one of the biggest oxymorons in the history of Congress, and that's saying a lot. That's a pretty high bar. And you got screwed over. Well, I'm going to blame it on the GOP since I can't believe they wouldn't allow the permitting for gas and oil in West Virginia, or which I represent, in other places to help with our energy and blah, 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 because it was attached to a bunch of other crap, you idiot. You took Schumer's word. It's not the GOP that screwed you over. It's your own people. It's the progressives in your party that Schumer said he had all lined up to vote, and you got screwed. So rather than shut down the government, you pulled your portion of the energy permitting proposal from the funding bill. Let them shut down. Shut it down. I remember shutdowns in the Clinton administration, as well as Bush 2 or 3 times, Obama as well, and Trump. You want to know something? 99% of the American people didn't even know it was shut down. It didn't affect them at all. That should be a hit and a half for your behind that nobody cares. The government's too big and too expensive and too bureaucratic. It just shut the damn thing down. Schumer says he aims for permitting reform to pass before the end of the year. Oh, boy, Chuck to the rescue. Dun, dun, dun. What a crock of crap. It's amazing to me. Joe, grow a set. Grow a set of balls. Maybe you can borrow some from some of the Republican women in the House. They got a lot more than you got. Senator Joe Manchin on Tuesday asked Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to remove energy permitting language from a government funding bill after he failed to secure enough support for the proposal. Yeah, what a noble effort on your part. Because you would look like the guy that failed the whole thing because your proposal was in it. So you got screwed twice. Twice on the same date. It is unfortunate that members of the United States Senate are allowing politics to put the energy security of our nation at risk. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? The progressive Democrats have put our energy security at risk since the day Joe Biden was sworn in. Are you kidding me? In West Virginia? Joe, the party that you belong to, the Democrats, the workers, the unions, it doesn't exist anymore. I was a Democrat in the early 2000s in upstate New York. I was a local elected official. I was a city councilman. I saw the party was coming apart then, and I left it in 2013 permanently. Joe, you should have jumped ship. Yeah, you would have lost a lot of your authority and a lot of your leverage if you became a Republican. But you should have done it. But you didn't. And you're coming up for re-election. Trump and his people are going to flood West Virginia. You don't have a chance in hell. Maybe you can run for governor again. A failed vote on something as critical as comprehensive permitting reform only serves to embolden leaders like Putin who wish to see America fail. Yeah. Why don't you put the proposal for the permits as a separate piece of legislation? You know why? Because it'll make all your Democrat buddies look bad. So take the 50 Republicans, and you makes 51. But unfortunately, Chuck Schumer won't never let the bill see the light of day by itself. It has to attach it to other stuff that everybody can't stand. You got screwed. They lied to you, Joe. What a big shocker. For that reason, in my firmly held belief that we should never come to the brink of a government shutdown over politics, it's always about politics. Where the hell have you been? I have asked Majority Leader Schumer to remove the permitting language from the continuing resolution we will vote on this evening. And my representative, Chuck Schumer, he screwed you. He knew the progressives and the Democrats would never go for it, and he knew the Republicans would never go for it. He was attached to a continuing resolution bill to keep the government open. Vote on the legislation as it stands separately. But they'll never allow that, Joe. You believe these two morons? You believe Nancy and Chuck? Manchin made a deal last month with Chuck Schumer to vote for Democrats' social spending and taxation bill in exchange for Schumer bringing energy permitting reform to a Senate vote. It's about the permits for drilling for gas and oil. They intended to attach a permitting reform proposal from Manchin to a continuing resolution to temporarily fund the government until after the elections. What a shocker. Probably till November 9th, the day after. Are you kidding me? He made a deal with these morons, and he expects them to abide by it. Joe, what the hell are you thinking? Leave the Democrat Party. I know it takes away a lot of your power. I get it. It would have been, but the bill will never see the light of day. Republicans angry at Manchin for backing the social spending and taxation bill. Progressives who don't want to make energy projects easier join forces against the bill. Joe, when everybody on both sides of the aisle say, you got screwed over, we're not doing it, this should be a hint and a half for your ass. They had enough votes to prevent the funding bill from getting over the 60-vote filibuster threshold. Manchin multiple times lamented the unlikely bedfellows. You know, it takes a special skill, Joe, to piss everybody off. It really does. Schumer put the blame squarely on Republicans. Bullshit. Pure and adulterated bullshit. You could have passed it with 50 plus Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Let's cut through the crap. So the Republicans have made it clear they'll block legislation to fund the government if it includes bipartisan permitting reform. It's not bipartisan. They were never going to allow it to happen, and Schumer knew that the whole time. They've chosen to obstruct instead of work in a bipartisan way. And you are so full of crap. Since when have you ever done anything in a bipartisan way for the American people first? It's a little crock. Achieve something we've long claimed they wanted to do. Republicans, meanwhile, said the process behind the proposal is what killed it, of course. It was a Schumer-Manchin sweetheart deal to begin with. Yeah, said Senator John Thune from South Dakota. Members on both sides were just wary of going and entering into a deal that was cut in that fashion. I don't blame them. I was prepared to support the bill largely because it would have expedited the Mountain Valley Pipeline, which my legislation also would have done. But your legislation will never see the light of day. But when legislating is done via backroom deals with the input from only one party, it's extremely difficult to garner broad support. You think? Schumer said that he will still aim to uphold his deal with Manchin before the end of the year. He will aim. He's the majority leader. He tells me either vote for it or I'll cut your legs off. That's the way it works. But we're going to aim for it. Joe, we're going to try. Get screwed over. And some Republicans said they believe permitting reform could be possible in the Senate's lame duck session. Senator Manchin, myself, and others will continue to have conversations. Yeah. Joe, why did you believe him? You voted for a multi-billion-dollar bill that's going to increase inflation. It was actually called the Inflation Reduction Act. What the hell were you thinking? Oh, God. We're already talking about improving the bill. Yeah. Improving the bill. The only way you're going to improve the bill is if the Republicans take over the Senate and the House. And you do it as a separate piece of legislation. So Biden can veto it. And you can say, see? And with the pipeline from Russia into Europe being, must have been, they say it was an accident, but there's huge gas flowing out in the Baltic Sea now. Nobody knows who caused the damage. Everybody's speculating. Winter is coming in Europe. All of you Game of Thrones fans will know winter is coming. And Trump told you guys, told Germany when he was president, do not let the Russians have control over your gas. When winter comes, they will cut you off. Nope. Trump's a madman. He doesn't get along with the European Union, and he came up. Okay, whatever. You know what? Every single thing Trump has said is going to happen in Europe concerning Russia has happened as far as energy goes. Morons. So you got the worst of both worlds. Europe now is going to be short natural gas because it's colder than hell in a lot of Europe in the wintertime. So they're screwed. And extra permitting proposals to make it easier to drill for natural gas and oil in the U.S. to maybe help out Europe, or at minimum bring our prices down, doesn't get done. Trump was going to sell tons of natural gas, ship it over to Europe. You can do that if you bring it down to a certain temperature, it becomes a solid, and then you bring it back up to gas when you're at the port, in this case, Europe. But they said no. We don't want cheap gas. What are you thinking of? We made a deal with Donald Trump that would make us a right-wing extremist. Morons. Morons. It's just, how can people in such positions of authority be so freaking stupid? Anyway, folks, Joe, you got screwed over. You going to learn from this lesson? Probably not. We'll have to see. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.